Let me guess what you're thinking at this stage. Yeah, the market pumped slightly, but it was not too much. A lot of coins did not pump much. Bread is up 2.5x since the bottom. So what? It's probably going lower from here. I'll probably be able to get my entry. Everyone is talking about us going to $70,000, $60,000. Everyone is looking for shorts at this stage. Therefore, probably we are actually going lower from here, and I will 100% get my entries. Anyway, I don't care about crypto much at this level, as no one cares. This pump, a lot of coins, they exited the perfect entries that they were at just several days before. So what? Who cares? I would be able to find my entry, and I would be able to make enough access to make sure people won't dump on me afterwards. This is you? Feels scary, right? Today I'm uncovering the most secret yet obvious setup on the marketplace. I'm talking on the fact why this video is actually called Market Reverses exactly right now. And one more time, I will try to persuade you to allocate into this market at this stage and actually be paying attention. Make sure to press the like button. Without further ado, let's start. This is the chart of Ethereum at this stage, and the reason I have these black lines that are pretty much just going to zero is because I'm showing the expectation of the vast majority of the market that were screaming 100% at the highs at $4,000. They were screaming, buy Ethereum, we're expanding from here, everything is going to Valhalla and things like that. What they're screaming currently is that we are obviously going to zero. What they're screaming is that after a 66% downward price action on the second largest crypto asset out there, with the ETF from Wall Street present, with each and every altcoin on this market actually dependent on this chart and actually dependent on this asset doing well, with Ethereum staking for ETFs rumored to actually be approved somewhere in the month of May, and May is the current month, by the way, right? And with the decision on 7th of May, which is only 2 days from here, they will actually provide us with the feedback, whether or not they're going to cut interest rate at this stage. Market is shaking, market is not sure, market still experiences a lot of uncertainty at this stage. What doomsayers are essentially saying is that we are going to zero from here. I think Ethereum is the best asset to actually be longing from these levels. This is honestly what I'm thinking, and I have some other data to actually prove that, to share that as well. But just look at this chart, look at this beautiful indicator, and I actually have on this chart that is screaming that you have to be longing Ethereum from these levels. You can see what was happening here, you had to long. What was happening here, you had to short. What is happening currently, you have to long this asset. And focus on the sentiment that is present around unseasonal in the marketplace at this stage. Altcoins are dead. Altcoins are VC scams. Nothing is happening. This market will never trust altcoins because they are dumping so much. And man, last cycle, VCs made 1,300x on Solana. Default market participants, if they bought the exact bottom and if they sold the exact top, they were exposed to 190x. This is the same fucking game this cycle as well. And if you will be buying your peaks that are like sui and hype, if you're playing them with size, yeah, you would be doing quite well. But if you're buying them waiting for the life-changing money, you will just become an exit liquidity. You will be just becoming exit liquidity out there. You have to be playing a bit more risk on. Ethereum BTC, a very interesting chart out there that is just in the downtrend for so long at this stage. Yet, what we can actually see, I have a 2-day time frame on this chart. We can see that we are pretty much in the range since the start of April. And start of April, guess what? It actually happened 1 month ago. For last month, we are not actually going lower in terms of Ethereum BTC chart, which means that Ethereum is not underperforming Bitcoin for the whole month already. When was the situation like that happening last time? Probably somewhere in February. Right before that, it was probably happening since middle of November till start of January, which was what? Which was a local alt season that we actually experienced through this time as well, right? You might say that we might have a certain reversal pattern on this chart as well, right? We have a classic 3 bottoms reversal, which we might honor at this stage, but it's up to you, right? The only thing that you should probably see is that the same indicator is actually bullish on longing Ethereum Bitcoin pair from these levels, right? It's bullish on opening longs from this level. It's very bullish. Unfortunately, there is no way to leverage trade the pairs out there, right? But you can long Ethereum to USD pair on any exchange that is available out there. Bitcoin dominance, next on the list. Some people of you would essentially speculate on the fact that Bitcoin dominance is just a reverse chart in terms of the Ethereum Bitcoin, and that's why like it's trying to find the top, and that's why it's trying to reverse at these levels. From my point of view, we shall be reversing quite soon on this chart. We are slightly above this all-time high week, right? I was not planning for that, to be honest. I was screaming about alt season already from these levels, and to me it was very similar to the price action that this chart was essentially showing in the previous cycle as well. We went higher. Sentiment currently, situation in the marketplace currently, this chart, all the charts that I showed, is just too insane. There is no alt season about Ethereum. Ethereum is considered dead, absolutely dead at this stage. Yet Vitalik is sharing some updates. He's sharing some things on we're improving things here, we're improving things there, we're making it more layer 1 focused out there. It's just so insane how actually successful Bitcoin propaganda is at this stage. People who were buying altcoins through the whole of the bear market, people who were constantly just sitting in alts and things like that, what they're talking in currently. Let's just buy Bitcoin. Let's just focus on Bitcoin. Let's just DCA into Bitcoin. I think what you should be DCAing into currently is definitely Ethereum. 100%. The risk reward is just much better. And you always have to ask this question to yourself. It's very easy to DCA buy into Bitcoin. Was it that easy to DCA buy into Bitcoin at the bottoms? Was it that easy to buy this asset at $15,000, $16,000, $17,000? I was buying it. And it was not easy. 100%. That's why it had a nice risk reward. What is the major asset that is in a very similar situation that Bitcoin was at the absolute bottoms at the end of 2022? Ethereum. Ethereum right now is in the similar situation currently. There were videos about Bitcoin, crypto is a scam that were getting 1 million views. They were pointing at the exact bottom. They were getting 1 million views in a couple of weeks. And the time they actually put on the marketplace was the exact bottom. It's absolutely insane. Metric number 4 that I think you should trust the most out there is funding rates. Most are shorting. Most are looking for the shorts. Despite the fact Ethereum is actually slightly in the green, which means that it's slightly positive and slightly more longs for Ethereum out there in comparison to Bitcoin. But even this situation should actually tell you something. Bitcoin funding is negative, Ethereum funding is slightly positive. And in terms of the funding, in order to be able to move the funding numbers out there, like we are really checking out what whales are doing in terms of the funds, right? Because it's pretty hard for retail market participants to be able to create any type of substantial volume out there to actually influence the funding on these major assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum. What we are seeing here is that whales, they are slightly more bullish on Ethereum at this stage. They are allocating, they are entering leverage longs at this stage. And what is very interesting is that they are more bullish on Ethereum at these levels than they are bullish on Bitcoin. And honestly, one more time, I do believe in the upcoming leg up, something that will be happening a lot is majority of people, a lot of people, they would be taking profit, they would be selling, and they would be buying into Bitcoin just to see Bitcoin maybe do 1.5 to 2x from these levels. 2.5 is something I'm seeing. For Ethereum to outperform heavily, for alts that did not do much, not your Solana and Suis, for alts that did not do much, also outperform like crazy. This is something that I'm thinking, what these people will be seeing. And it would be a terrible situation out there. I would just ask you to look into all of the things that are happening around this asset at this stage. Historically, May has been Ethereum's month. Since Ethereum's launch in July 2015 in closed May, we gained 6 out of 9 times, averaging 30% returns. That's not luck. That's cycle behavior. A lot has happened behind the scenes and soon it's all be impossible to ignore. The May 7th Spectra update is a huge leap forward. Major scaling, BlackRock building more on Ethereum, and growing regulatory clarity are all aligning. Ethereum is gearing up to silence every last doubter. Position yourself wisely. Ethereum closed its most bullish monthly candle, most bullish of 2025. When we last closed with the hammer candle, it led to a 60% price pump. Well, I'm not very positive on 200,000 views on this thing, but yet, I do believe that even if you watch this video currently, you just have seen the previews, you are thinking in the background about these things, and I'm sure catch your thoughts that you have in your mind. What are you thinking about? You're probably thinking, man, like I've heard it so many times, I've been holding this, it's been dragging me down, nothing is happening, it's probably one more time when nothing will be happening again, also that, and at least you have these thoughts, because 80 to 90% of people that will comment, they will be exit liquidity out there. They don't even have these thoughts at this stage. They're not present, they're not thinking, they reposition to something else, they're sitting in stables, they're waiting for some activity to happen on the market in order to reaffirm the actions, in order to convince them that, yeah, it's nice time to be exit liquidity, it's nice time to enter into the assets that pumped from the bottoms. I want to urge you, don't be comfortable about the fact you missed the bottom on bread. Don't be comfortable. Bread is at $500 million market cap, and just 2 weeks ago you could have bought it at $220 million market cap. Don't be comfortable about these things, and I'm telling this to myself as well. And it's uncomfortable. I don't want to hear that. I feel pain internally because I was screaming on this channel multiple times I should probably be long in bread. I think it has a chance to repeat the movement of Pepe that was happening in the previous year. I did not do it. I acknowledge that, and it feels painful to me. However, I do know there are a bunch of assets similar to bread on this market. There are a bunch of assets that are still available for getting exposure into them. Just look into them. I am betting on Ethereum. I am betting on altcoins. I am betting on the alt season in the upcoming couple of months, because it is the perfect setup. Sentiment-wise, all the things that are happening, what do you think, what the crowd thinks, the thought process that we are having at this stage, even me recording this video, is the perfect setup. It's the result of the many months of work of the market maker out there. I do believe the right action is look into the ecosystem and be watching carefully right after it. Thank you very much for watching this one. Stay healthy and rich. I shall be seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.